For Life gang? It's Amber.
What it do is Philip.
Hey, if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe to our channel, give this video a thumbs up, and leave us a comment below.
All right, and today we're going to talk about expectations versus reality in our marriage.
Oof.
All right, so before we got married, what did you expect your marriage to be like?
So, I feel like we touched on this a little bit when we were kind of talking about gender roles. If you haven't, check that video out.
Mm-hmm.
But, so, I really thought about marriage a lot. Mm-hmm. Like, when I was a kid, when I was a teenager, when I was in college, like, I really had this vision of what marriage was going to be.
Yeah.
And for me, you know, I think that TV is real life.
Mm-hmm.
So in my head, I just felt it was going to be this perfect marriage, but I also knew life did not come without problems. So in my head, it was like, insert drama here, we will overcome it and live happily ever after.
Yeah. Insert
a couple other pieces of drama here and there, but it will make us stronger and life will be great.
Just like TV.
Literally, like TV. So that's what I thought marriage was going to be like.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that I was just going to be this superwoman, wife, and mom who did all the things except cooking, because, you know, I wasn't a cooker back then.
Right.
So I was like, but my husband is either going to be just this wonderful chef who loves cooking, or he is going to have all the coins so we can eat out every single day, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and I'm perfectly fine with it.
Right.
So that's pretty much like on the surface what I thought marriage would be like. But I definitely thought just like the typical stuff, like the man is leading, everything is so great and perfect and neat and clean, and we will work things out in a day. And, you know, that's pretty much what I thought. It would be perfect.
Nah.
What do you think? What were your expectations?
My expectations of marriage was, I didn't really think about it too much.
Mm-hmm.
I knew that one day I wanted to be married. The only thing that I knew for a fact was, I know this is really stupid, but the only thing that I knew for a fact is that my wife's name would start with an A.
Yeah.
And that I would marry someone that I kind of grew up with, kind of, sort of.
Uh-huh.
Like, I knew that I wasn't going to marry someone that I just met either in college, or someone that I worked with, or someone that I met in the grocery store when I was an adult, or something like that.
Right.
I knew that for a fact. That's the only two things that I knew.
I knew I was going to meet somebody in a grocery store at the gas station. Now, I knew that, and he was going to sweep me off my feet. Now, when I got to college, and we actually had like an off and on, I kind of was like, oh, Amber, I think you're going to marry somebody you knew. But when I got to that point, I was like, oh, it's probably going to be Philip. You know, when I kind of got to that point.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
But, I mean, I didn't think about my future like that.
Yeah.
Like, I really didn't know what I wanted to do when I got to be an adult, or nothing like that. I mean, I had aspirations of, like, going to the NBA.
Yeah.
But,
like most kids, most boys.
Yeah, but, I mean, I didn't really think 10 years, 15 years in advance.
Like I definitely did. I mean, I would lay in bed and have, like, you know, in depth, like, I would even think about days where, like
fantasies. Coming
coming home from work. Like, oh, I told you this, so this is something that I would think about, like, coming home from work and my husband being so romantic and it being rose petals and him already having dinner prepared and, you know, we eating dinner and it was just this super sexy thing and led to us taking a bath. And, like, that's what I envisioned, like, maybe not every day would be like, but maybe twice a week.
I never thought about it that in depth.
Oh, yeah, I did.
No, I definitely saw myself having kids, a family. But I never thought of, you know, what my wife would look like, what we would do. Yeah. Where we would live, what kind of cars we would drive. I never thought about nothing like that.
So what's something well, I guess it's kind of different because you didn't have too many expectations, but what's something that kind of like knocked you off your feet when we got married and it was like, I didn't think it was going to be like this?
Oh, one thing for sure, the reality check that hit me like in the gut was me coming home to you every day and having to talk about things. Like, I was like, because I wasn't a talker like
Yeah.
that. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't like to sit up and talk.
And that's my jam.
You love to talk. And it
Yeah.
it don't even have to be anything in depth. We don't have to talk about deep stuff, but you just like to talk. That wasn't me. I would like to just, you know, come home, watch my TV, eat dinner. You know, we talk, of course, you know, occasionally when we got home. But I mean, sure, we talked all day while I was at work.
You thought we was just
work.
gonna talk occasionally?
Wait, now I'm talking about, shoot, what else we got to talk about? We didn't talk all day while we was at work. So we got more stuff to talk about.
And little did you know we did.
But I'm glad that happened, because the more we talked, the more we got to know one another.
Right.
The more, not saying that we didn't prior to, but you can never know enough about your spouse. Like,
right.
it's so many layers to your spouse. And I didn't know that. I don't think you knew that, but we were just kind of chipping away of finding out more about one another the more we talk.
No, I literally want to know everything about you. Okay. Like, I want to know. This is funny. My sister made fun of me one time. Okay, you know, we did your 30th birthday party.
Yeah.
And you know, I got all those pictures from your mom.
Right.
And I was looking through those pictures with Alex, and she was like,
right.
I told her, I was like, I really feel like I know Philip a little more from when he was little. And she was like, you were psychotic. But
but that's some cool stuff to know, because
right.
that's an area that you hadn't tapped in before.
Right. And for me, I'm like, I want to know that, like, not just on the surface what your childhood was like, but like even deeper, like, what was your everyday like? Like, tell me about this time.
Yeah.
How was it when you were 6? When you were 7? Like, I want to know those things.
And that's probably some of those pictures that you were looking through probably are some of the things that you were kind of connecting the dots and things that we were talking about. So you were actually able to see me at an adolescent age, and like, so when you told me this is what you look like. Right. This is probably around the time that you were going through, or you did, or whatever the case may be. Yeah. But what were your realities? I guess.
I'm gonna be honest. A lot of what I thought marriage would be like is our marriage. And I think that part of that probably did have to do with a little molding, like the talking thing, like all of that. Sure. I definitely saw that and knew that. Like, I'm like, my husband's gonna be my best friend. Well, for one, we were already building that before we got married. So when we were just dating, you know, we were building that anyway. I would probably say one thing that I didn't expect. I definitely didn't expect to be so tired. I think for me, having like that super wife, super mom dynamics that I wanted to have, I didn't expect to get burnt out from it. And it took, years of me doing it to get burnt out, but I didn't expect getting burnt out.
Yeah.
But another thing I'll say is like something simple, but like cleaning up behind you when we were dating.
It was cute.
It was adorable.
Yeah.
And when we first got married, it was adorable. I remember telling my mom, Philip just stepped out of his shorts, and if I don't pick him up, the next day he stepped out of the next pair. Yeah. And I didn't have an issue with it. Yeah. But then one day I was just like,
I'm sick of this.
You ain't gonna ever pick up the shorts. And so I think the biggest thing for me was just realizing like, you're married. Y'all are in love. Everything is great. But no, this get on your nerves. And stuff get on your nerves. Stuff that didn't get on your nerves at first. And it was just, we were spending all of our time together. It wasn't we've been spending a lot of time together and now you're going to hang out. Or now you're not sleeping at my apartment tonight. No, your place is my place. Like, so I think it was just easier for me to get a little annoyed with things that I may not have expected at first.
Yeah. I also think that another reality for me was that when we first got married, it automatically clicked in like, okay, now that we're married, I need to assume the responsibility and the role of a husband. But
it's like figuring out what that is.
Right. You know, that was a challenge in itself. Because not only that, we had a child to attend to as well.
which is totally different and something that I totally forgot to even mention in expectations, because we've talked about this before, but like, I thought that we would be like taking trips all over the place and, you know, trying all these different things and having all these new experiences, where when our reality was, girl, you're pregnant.
Yeah.
And y'all about to have a baby. And so it was totally different than what I thought in that point of view. Like, I pictured marriage being so much more glamorous. And that wasn't what we had. Like, not saying that it was horrible or anything, but it was, our priorities were different.
A lot different.
And we were younger. And so it's like, y'all got to figure out how y'all going to tend to this baby. Y'all got to get this room together. Y'all have to plan for this. Y'all have to pick out daycares. Y'all have to do all. So it was like all that, just me and my hubby living stuff. That's not.
Yeah.
This ain't that.
We had a very, very short time of it just being us.
Right.
And when it was just us, you were still pregnant. So it wasn't like, you know, it was just us. It was still us and the baby.
And the baby.
We still had to take him into consideration and all of that. So.
Well, because that was our entire life when we got married. Like, waiting for baby, planning for baby. Then baby is here. So now, tending to baby. So that literally was our first year of marriage.
Yeah. So we're trying to figure out one another.
Right.
And figure out how to take care of this child together.
Right. Figuring out each other in the capacity of husband and wife.
Yeah.
And mom and daddy.
Oof.
Which was a lot.
It was a whole lot.
And I think for a second, I didn't even realize that my expectations of marriage weren't happening, because we literally hit the ground running.
Yeah,
like, I didn't have time to be like, oh, I thought this was going to be
Yeah, you weren't even thinking about those trips that you wanted to take.
Not until later.
Yeah. I mean, because, you know, still to this day, like, you know, we always have our children. And that's not, I mean, I love it.
Right.
You know what I mean? But
it's the time. And that's
the time. That's
what I tell people. Like, that's the one thing that if I could have done something different, that I would have given us more time with one another first before putting kids in the mix. Simply, I mean, yeah. But
it's okay, because on the back end, when these kids get out of here, we gonna kick it.
Yeah.
We're going to take them trips.
Now we got to steal time and steal trips and do all that. But you know what? We manage it, and it works.
Absolutely. I mean, because I look at it like, you know, the younger you have kids in your marriage, you know, on the back end, when they go ahead and they get grown, we still going to be relatively young, I think.
Well, I agree. Well, I agree to an extent. I'll just say that sometimes you need to mature some.
Right, for sure.
Like, I mean, we were pretty young when we got married, 24 and 25. That's pretty young to get married and have kids. And multiple kids, because you have a child.
Right.
So that's a lot to do in such a young age.
Right.
So I definitely think for people who have the chance to have that time, take it and don't take it for granted.
Right. Take advantage.
Right.
Take advantage. Because I think my parents were married 6 years before I was born. So they had plenty
a long
of time.
And my mom was super young when she had her first. And so now all her kids are grown, and she act like she don't know how to be a grandmother all the time. I need your life to be dedicated to my kids. And you out here trying to live your best life.
Right.
Because your kids finally at the house.
Wearing workout gear every day.
Right. No, tend to these. Come over here. They calling you, Gigi.
Yeah.
What else? Even outside of like the fluffy stuff, like what are some other things that we were just kind of like, whoa? I'll tell you one. So we had a lot of drama our first year or so of marriage, and not even drama within us, but just drama from outside forces. We had a lot of drama, and the drama isn't the issue, but what I didn't expect was, oh, when you said that you were committed to this forever, it's a commitment forever, for real.
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't think I expect it to be tested so soon.
Oh, yeah.
And then like being, girl, you're married. This is not a relationship. You're married and y'all just had a baby. So it's like, I know it would be easy to say, you know what? I can't deal with this.
Yeah.
I think you may want to rethink that choice.
Yeah, and not only that, this is something that we decided before we got married, that when we got married, we're not going to call it quits.
Right.
You know, it ain't going to be just, no, it didn't got difficult, or we didn't ran into a problem or some adversity and we don't feel like dealing with it. No, we're going to stick it out.
Right. And figuring it out, I think, was something for us, because it takes being married until you realize, like, when people say you really got to put in work, marriage is work. Like, I knew marriage was work. Like I said, insert problem here, overcome it. Insert problem here. Like, I knew that was going to happen, but the difference is being in the midst, and it's like, no, you got to put in work for real.
Every day.
You have to change things about you.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be okay with things about other people, and not even other people, about your spouse, in order to make this work. Mm-hmm. So for me, I'm super anal, for one. I like things my way. I feel like my way is the best way.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's really been a learning curve for me to have to get outside of myself to be like, oh, Amber, your way may be a good way, but there's another way.
Yeah.
Or even more, I know you thought your way was the best way, but boo, I'm here to tell you it wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's been things that I've had to like really realize about myself. And so in that way, you've really helped me. Like, marriage has helped me be a mirror. Like, you got to look at yourself and see what you can do better. And at first, you think that when you look at yourself to see what you can do better, I know me, I would be like, well, I was pretty solid. It ain't me, it's him.
Yeah.
But when I actually start analyzing, it was like, oh, no, it was you.
Yeah.
Or it doesn't matter what he did. What about you? What about what you said?
Mm-hmm.
So I think that was honestly probably one of the biggest things, was like how much work it took, because changing some of those things don't happen overnight. Like, you have to actively work to change those things.
Sometimes you have to make sacrifices in your daily thought process. You have to put yourself second to your spouse. You have to constantly think about how to make your spouse happy.
Mm-hmm.
You have to constantly think about not being so quick to say things all the time or say your opinion. You have to be quiet sometimes and think. And like, is this the best thing to say?
Was you talking to me? Because
no.
He was talking to me.
No.
Because that's my issue, and I own it now, and I know that it's something I have to work on, and I feel like I've gotten better, but I know it's something that I'm still working on. But it took me a minute to even realize that was an issue of mine. Yeah. Like, you don't have to say something.
You don't have
every time. You don't have to be right every time. But not only that, even if you are right, you don't have to let him know that you're right every time.
Yeah. It's almost, you got to think about, do you want to be right or do you want to be happy?
Right.
You have to make that decision sometimes. And sometimes it's a very thin line.
Yeah.
Because it's sometimes to where, and I'm speaking for myself as well, that you need to push a little bit and say, hey, no, I think that this is the right thing to do. Or sometimes you have to just be quiet and just say, okay, find a compromise, and then this is what we're going to roll with, just to make sure that both parties are happy.
Right.
Well. Because if you constantly, like you said, if you constantly try to prove that you're right and push the right agenda, you're constantly pushing your partner away too.
Right. You're right. That's good. You know something else that I didn't expect?
Well,
I didn't expect to change. Like, I know that we all mature, we all grow, I know that. I didn't expect to be a different person than I was when we got married.
You probably underestimated the power that you have when it comes to you having a child, because you immediately change when you get pregnant. When women get pregnant, before the baby even come, they immediately change because they instantly go into mommy mode.
And also I got so clingy. Like,
yeah.
I thought because I was pregnant, we were never supposed to be apart. Like, I remember at one point, like, we had like a really good weekend and we spent all weekend together just in the house. And then we were going to work and I was like, wait, why are we going to? He leaving me?
Yeah, no, it's time to go to work.
And it was like, girl, this is the real world. But I just thought, I'm pregnant. Like, cater to me, adore me, carry me. And
but those are all those real emotions that you feel that you want me to be around all the time. But that wasn't the reality.
It wasn't
at the time, and it wasn't our situation.
Yeah.
Of course, I would love to be at home with my wife all the time, but I gotta go get this money.
Right. So I got super clingy, but then I did change. We had a child, and I became this structured, scheduled person that I didn't know. Like, that was not me at first.
But that was a part of your personality, though. But that was just a different area because, like you said, you're really anal. And you want things done your way.
Right.
And on top of that...
But I hadn't tapped into that.
And on top of that, Peyton had a peanut allergy.
Right.
So, you had to change again.
I did. I had to change it. That's really why I started cooking all that.
That's where the cooking came from, right there. So, you had to... You feel like you had to make his food...
Yep.
To know what was in it.
Well, because he didn't just have the peanut allergy. He had the wheat allergy, the corn allergy, the egg allergy. So I was just like, what is my baby going to eat?
Because
like,
everything is wheat, peanut butter, corn, you know.
Like, I remember crying, like, I go to the extreme in my thoughts. So in my head, I'm like, if you don't know everything that's in your child's food, he's going to die. So I'm like, how do you keep your child from dying? So I'm like, you got to make his food. That's the only way that you're going to know what's in it. He eating some bread, you got to make the bread. And I started making all these things, but that did change the way I operated because I needed a certain time for this. I needed everything had to go into a box.
Yeah.
And I had to check everything off, but I wasn't expecting those changes. Even having our second, like, I changed again.
Yeah.
And I don't know if we said this last time, but I'm at least on my third change by now. Like, you've been married to at least 3 women.
Yeah. And it's going to happen. It's going to happen again.
Yeah.
You know, so, but the most important thing is to remember that in your change and even in my change is that we make those adjustments.
Right.
So as long as we continue to keep that open communication and completely understand what you're changing into and morphing into, your thought processes and all that, I think we'll be all right.
So I agree. Let me ask you this. How have you handled the changes that I've made? Because just because I've changed at least 3 times doesn't mean that you have. Yeah. How have you handled that? Because I'm literally today, right now, not the person that you got on one knee and said, will you marry me to?
Well, I'll answer it 2 ways. The first way I'll answer is that I'm completely okay with the change. And I support the change. And that's something that's not going to change with me. Right,
because you're super supportive. You are very supportive.
Yeah, because I feel like, the more I give you that space to do your thing, you can be your best self. So whether that's a completely different Amber that I made 8 years ago than it is today, as long as I support you in that change, then it'll be all good.
Right. Okay, that's one.
But the second part of that is that when I get used to one Amber, here come another. So now I got to
literally.
Now I got to get used to this new Amber.
Bless your heart, boo. You really do.
Damn it.
You're a strong man.
Now look. Now just 2 years ago, you wouldn't have put up with this. Now it's cool. Now look, man.
Right.
I don't know what to do now.
I've definitely
now I'm confused.
Yeah.
But it's actually pretty fun though. Just to kind of
keep the spice alive.
Oh, for sure. For sure. So but that's what I would say.
Okay.
As far as me handling the change.
Yeah.
But how would you say that I've changed the last 8 years?
I definitely see change.
Even though you know I don't like change. I know I have changed.
Listen.
I don't like change.
Philip is such an old man.
I like repetition. I like things that stay the same.
Philip is an old man in every sense of the word.
I don't like change.
In the way he talk.
Sure.
In just everything. Philip is an old man and he does not like change.
Uh-oh.
And I'm like, switch it, switch it, switch it. Let's do it, up, try this, switch it, switch it. So I think that you have changed. You definitely hadn't changed as much as I have.
Right.
But your change has been growth. Your change has been a lot of maturity as well. So it's been needed change. Yeah, that's what your change has been. Your change has been good for you.
Yeah.
Your change has been good for me. Your change has been, you were 25 when we got married and you were a little boy, and now you are not, and you are a grown man, and you're like, I've watched you come more into yourself. So I've been very proud of your change. Very proud of your change. It's like you've been figuring out who you are, who you want to be. And I like it.
Okay. So my change has been more of evolvement.
Yes, definitely.
Okay.
That's a good way to put it. You've evolved.
Okay.
I done evolved and changed again and changed again. But
yeah.
But yes,
Okay.
that's what it's been. You've evolved.
I can see that.
And it's good. It's really good change.
And it's not like I woke up like this. It's definitely been because of your assistance with that. On you calling me out, you having uncomfortable conversations with me, and us talking more.
Right.
You know, like we've gotten into that space of chipping away, but that has, you know, anytime you are uncomfortable, you grow out of it.
100%.
You know?
100%.
So, I mean, I definitely have to credit you for that. I mean, it's not like I just woke up and, you know, I'm a better man than I was yesterday.
Yeah.
You definitely helped with that.
Oh.
You have.
I know. But let me ask you this. How, like, you talked about, like, me calling you out, us talking about things. When we first got married, how was that for you? Because that's kind of different.
Oh, definitely different because our first year of marriage, when you would call me out on something and say, hey, that wasn't cool, or we need to talk. You know, anytime a man hears we need to talk, you're like, oh, hell, what did I do?
Right.
But it wasn't that we needed to talk because you did something. It's that we need to talk so we can figure something out.
Right.
So, but how I handled that is I felt like that you were attacking me. And that's something that I kind of learned coming up. Any time that you were called out on something, it was more so of like you did something that's more, you know what I mean? And so when I got that from you, I immediately went into defense. Like, all right, look, now.
You shut down.
Like,
is what you did.
Like, we ain't talking about this. I don't want to talk about this. Why are you talking to me and trying to call me out on my stuff? Like, who you think you are? You know? So, I took it more of the extreme. Right. Not thinking in the back of my mind, no, this is my wife. Yeah. Like, she would never even, and this is my friend. Like, she would never bring this to my attention and try to bash me, try to put me down, try to belittle me. She's literally bringing this stuff to my attention so you can help me grow, so I can learn, so I can be better, things of that nature. So that took a while.
It definitely
did. Took some years for me to actually get that. Yeah. And for me to comprehend that. And so I can know that when you bring this to my attention, it's not like you're not doing that to put me down. You're trying to help me out.
And you took a lot as me saying you were a bad husband. If I brought anything to you. But in the time that you were shutting down, what I also had to learn is how you come at somebody matters. Oh, for sure. And I was so blunt that I didn't know. I put the truth over anything. And I felt like because I'm telling the truth, he gonna get it how he, and not going off or anything, but I wasn't careful with my words.
Yeah.
And I wasn't patient either. So if it was something, I felt like we needed to talk about it immediately.
So we were both learning together.
Right. And I had to learn, one, you could have said that better.
Mm-hmm.
Two, you can go to sleep on it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, think about this first. Get your words together. And I had to start learning how to say things in a way that you would receive it.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to be really gentle with you and with my words. But I think I needed to learn how to do some of that, because it's like, you can't just say the first thing that comes to your mind.
No, you can't.
Even if it's true, you can't just blurt it out like that. You have to be careful with your words. Not distort the truth, but you have to be careful with your words.
Yeah.
And so I had to learn that as well. And I don't think that I wasn't expecting that. But I also wasn't expecting things to come up about you that I felt like we needed to talk about. Because we were in such that honeymoon stage for a while. Like when we were dating and when we got engaged and we got married, it was just, oh, I love you. I love you. I'm about to have your baby. I love you. I love you. And then I had to be like, yeah, you love him, but you ain't feeling that.
Yeah.
And it's like, y'all got to talk about it. But y'all got to figure out how to talk about it.
And I'm thinking the whole time is like, well, I'm providing, I'm going to work, I'm coming home every day. I don't do no extracurricular, even if I do, I ain't coming home at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning or not at all. Like, so what you mean you calling me out?
Right.
Like, what the heck? Don't I provide? Don't I protect you? Don't I bring money into this house? But that's not. That's not all of what it is.
Philip was shut down so much when I brought anything up to him that I started being strategic on when I brought it to him.
Yeah.
So if it was a weekend coming up, I knew we were going to be home. I wanted us to have a good weekend. So on like a Friday, I wouldn't bring up anything. I would wait till that Monday.
Yeah.
So Monday and Tuesday, maybe Wednesday, were the days that I would say something, because then he would have enough time to cool off by the weekend. But Thursday, Friday, definitely not a Saturday. I wasn't saying anything about it. Or if I was tired, I would bring something up then too. Like I would save it. And when I'm tired, I'll bring it up, because now he don't want to talk. So he going in the living room. He going to clean up. He going to do all of that. And
when I'm upset, I get to clean it up. I get to washing and folding clothes. I'll wash the dishes. I'll go cut the grass. Because I don't want to talk.
He fixing plates. He doing everything. And in my head, I'm just like, thank you. I needed a break.
And she just enjoying it.
Look, you got to be smart. You got to use what you got.
Whatever.
So that's definitely something I think we had to learn. What else did we have to kind of learn, like that first year of marriage, that kind of took us for a second?
Ooh.
What? I wonder if you're going to say what I'm thinking.
No, you're not. I know you're not.
Okay, go.
But this was something that I had to learn, was being a full-time dad. That was something that was new for me.
It was.
Because prior to when I had my son, we weren't together. So I would only get him on the allotted times that I had him. So, and when I had him in college, I didn't go through him waking up in the middle of the night.
Right.
And all of that. I would just go through that stuff on the weekend when I came home.
Right.
But now this is a completely different experience.
Right.
Like, what you mean I gotta get up in the middle of the night? What you mean I gotta change diapers? What do you mean? Like, even though I did that with my son, like having a child full time compared to part time,
right?
Man, it's night and day.
You missed him, so okay, I gotta get up in the middle of the night. It's fine. I haven't seen you in 5 days. Right. Yeah.
Right. So that was cool. It is what it is. But man, look.
Yeah.
Whew. It was a monster.
I remember that.
It was a monster. So it was actually like me and you were being parents for the first time.
At the same time, yeah.
At the same time. So.
Which I liked.
Yeah. It was definitely great.
Yeah, because we were learning together. So that definitely was a plus, that we were still going through some of those experiences together. Yeah.
So, but I know that's not what
No, that's definitely not what I was going to say.
What
I was thinking about was, I didn't expect to have to lean so much into us against the world. You know, that's something that we really had to do. Like, you know, we were tested a lot in our marriage, and everything that came up just brought us closer together and made us stronger. But I wasn't like everybody says that it'll just make you stronger. But until you start actually going through those things, you don't realize, no, it's going to make you stronger, but it's a lot.
Oh, yeah.
And so that was something that was really different for me. I just wasn't used to those dynamics.
Yeah.
So it was, and I think that just even comes with like, when you marry somebody, you marry all of them. Even the parts of them, all of it, even parts of them that they would care not to have or care not to deal with. You marry all of that. So all of that comes with you. Yeah. And so it's like now we both got to figure out how we manage this.
Yeah. Y'all both got to figure it out now.
Yeah.
This is no longer just your problem. It's my problem too.
Right. Even if it was just your problem and it's a problem that you created or
something that happened even before me.
It's our problem.
Now it's our problem.
Yep.
It's something we have to deal with.
And that's the type of stuff when people say you have to put in the work, that's the type of stuff that you can't think of until it's actually happening. And it's like, now where do we go from here?
Yeah. Yeah, because, you know, even though we were still in that honeymoon phase, we still were going through some things together.
Yep.
We still were being attacked from the outside world. So we actually had to gel pretty quick and form like an alliance.
We did.
Real quick.
Super quick. And I'm just grateful that we were able to do that because it could have went differently.
Oh, for sure.
And I'm sure for some people it may have gone differently. To where, yeah, we really did have to be like, no, it's us.
Yeah.
And we had to like really show like that commitment that we have for one another. Like, we're not going to let this come in between our marriage. So we need to figure out how we're dealing with this together.
Yeah. I think our first year was a confirmation that we were supposed to be together.
Definitely.
Yeah, because we needed one another. We learned from one another when all that stuff was happening. Like I said, we formed that alliance and we gelled together like we became a unit.
We did.
Like, you're not coming for us.
At all. And
I don't care who you are. You're not coming for us.
Yep, we became a unit for real. Like, it was no longer Amber, then Philip. No. It was Amber and Philip together. You literally don't get one without the other.
Right. You know, so you invite one, you invite both.
100%. And so I think that because of all of that, and on top of that, having a baby kind of just pushed our relationship forward quicker.
Yeah.
And so I'm definitely grateful for that part of things. Is there anything else that you feel like I wasn't really expecting, but it came and here's what happened? You know? We kind of covered a lot.
Yeah, I think so.
We covered a lot. Yeah, our first year was definitely a year. It was eventful. It was, it tested us a lot. It definitely tested like our commitment to one another. It tested like even just our maturity. Like when you get married, everybody doesn't realize that, especially when you get married young, everybody hadn't caught on to know these are adults and they're married and it's them first and all of that. And so it definitely like pushed all of that to the forefront more, which I'm definitely grateful for now. We definitely have like a solid unit.
For sure.
So yeah. So do we have questions?
Yes. Yes, we do.
Okay.
Okay. Question number 1. If we never met, how would your life be different?
You should have saw my face when you said that we never met. If we never met, how would my life be different? I honestly cannot tell you because I'm going to try and tell you, but I'm going to say this first. I barely remember a time when we weren't married. Like we've been married so long.
Or just knowing each other, period.
Right. And I don't even know how I would function in my everyday life without you.
Mm-hmm.
So it's hard to see what would happen
Mm-hmm.
if we never met. If I have to try and say something.
Like if we went to different schools and we just didn't know each other.
I don't know. I just feel like I wouldn't be as happy. Like I don't.
Oh, and that's sweet.
Like for real though. I don't think I would even be as happy. And I guess maybe I would know that I wouldn't be as happy.
You wouldn't know.
So, I mean, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
If we, yes, what you think?
Well, I know for one thing for sure, you're the right person for me because of the person that I have become today.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think there's anyone else out there that would help me to become the person that I am today.
Mm-hmm.
I think that if I would be with someone else, then I would just be, you know, my wife would be singing my praises. She wouldn't challenge me at all.
Yeah.
She wouldn't, you know, hold me accountable for certain things. Like I would just be able to pretty much do what I wanted to do, because prior to us getting married, like I had a pretty cold mouthpiece, you know, and I was able to not.
So you say.
Come on now. I wasn't able to like, take advantage. I don't want to say take advantage, but I was able to manipulate women to do what I wanted them to do. And it wasn't like sexual or nothing like that, but I was just be able to have my way. Like if I wanted to be with you, then I would tell you that. Or if I just wanted to be with you for a certain amount of time, then I would tell you that. Like we would operate on my terms. It was never on your terms. You know what I mean? But when you established that and put your foot down,
Did stop.
Like, look, bruh, this is how this is gonna go. I was like, damn, I like this one. You know, so that's why I feel like, you know, how my life would go. My life would go in a completely different direction than where, you know, I would probably still be immature at my age now. You know what I mean? Kind of stuff like that. I wouldn't have evolved to the person that I am today. I probably would have been later on in life. Maybe, I don't know.
It may have taken longer.
Yeah, but nah, I definitely know I wouldn't be the person I am now.
Yeah.
I know that for sure.
Yeah. So I don't think either one of us answered the question, but I like our responses.
I think I did answer the question.
Well, you know what? You did. I didn't answer the question.
And of course we wouldn't have our children, but
right. I don't, that's nothing that I actually have ever thought about.
I know that was a good question.
Yeah.
All right. Question number 2. All right, we're on our way to the movies when COVID went on, of course. We swing by our favorite candy spot, the Dollar Tree.
Yes.
Name 3 items you're getting out of the store.
Okay, 3 things that I'm, you know, I am getting.
3 things. What you getting?
What's the one? I didn't lost my whole train of thought. So you know we on this Daniel fast, and so I don't even be thinking about, you see I got my water over here. I ain't thought about candy in so long.
It's been sad.
But what's the peanut butter ones I be eating? Not peanut butter, the pecan ones with the chocolate on it that I like.
Pecan ones?
You know that you were just making fun of me about, I guess whenever we could eat candy, about me getting those.
It wasn't Whoppers. What was it?
Oh, no, it was not. God, no.
What was it? Dang, I forgot.
They're the peanut ones that have the chocolate on them, and they're in like the blue box.
That's so gross, too. I forgot what it was.
Why can I not remember the name of them?
I forgot.
Well, it would be the Goobers.
Goobers.
It would be Goobers.
Whack.
I would get some type of Reese's. Like Reese's Pieces or some kind of Reese's I would get.
Yeah.
And then I would probably get, what would I get?
So you got too many options.
I do. I'm literally looking at the Dollar Tree getting overwhelmed.
See? That's why we got to go super early, because we're going to spend 30 minutes in the Dollar Tree to get 3 items.
Because now I'm looking at like them straws. I could go for, it depends on the day.
Oh my God.
I could go for the straws. But then, you know, like my little hard candy.
Yeah. Yeah.
My little caramels.
Yeah.
I need 4 things.
No, 3. You already said Goobers.
Okay, that's my chocolate.
Reese's
That's
Pieces.
my chocolate, so I need something a little fruity. I'm gonna get my straws. My sour straws.
Okay, your sour straw. That's what you get.
But you know I like nerds.
Oh my.
I'm gonna get sour straws. What you get?
All right. Know we gotta get my sour worm.
Uh-huh.
Gotta have my trolleys.
Yeah.
Then we gonna go with the Lifesaver gummies.
Oh yeah, I be eating your candy. Uh-huh.
See? And that's your problem. Stay over there.
Okay, what else?
And then for my chocolate, I'm gonna get the cookies and cream Hershey Kisses.
Oh, I be forgetting about
I know you do. They hidden.
Philip be getting a good candy.
I know I be getting the good candy. Be all up in my candy.
So Philip always get candy. He always get candy that both of us like. I always get candy that only I like.
See how she do me? Come on, man.
I'm gonna be better, babe.
Sure, you don't like no damn Goobers.
Nah, you don't like none of the stuff I got. Maybe the Reese's.
Anyway, all right. So number 3. What is your favorite thing I ever did for a special occasion for you?
You surprised me and bought me that phone for Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
I really like that.
Even though I said 1, but continue.
Oh, you did say 1. Well, I didn't know that was my favorite.
Okay, well, keep going. Oh, okay, you're trying to think. Okay,
yeah,
all right,
some
I got
things
you. My
that you
bad.
done.
Go ahead.
So Philip is really Philip is really big on surprises. But what's funny is Philip will be like, "Surprise! I got your favorite drink from the store."
Well, surprise.
He will call me and be like, "Baby, I got a surprise for you."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "What is it?" Because it literally could be something that simple.
Yeah, it'll be something simple.
Oh, you know what? Then
What?
you got me the Apple Watch. That was a big surprise too.
Mm-hmm.
That was a good surprise.
Sure did.
But there's something, you know, I like thoughtful stuff too.
Mm-hmm.
You used to mail me letters on Valentine's Day.
Yep.
Oh, boy, you sweet.
That was when we were married.
Yeah.
I mailed you a letter.
You
And we lived together.
so sweet. My favorite though, I'm gonna say when you got the phone, because I definitely did not expect it. I wanted that phone so bad, but I was not expecting it at all. So that was probably my favorite. I'm sure after this, I'm gonna think of something else that probably tops that. But for now, that's what I'll go with.
Okay.
What about you?
You know mine.
What?
It's before we got married.
What?
My birthday. So Pete. Lord. For my birthday, before we got married, Amber told me to come over to her house. It was a Sunday.
Uh-huh.
I was like, all right, cool. She said, when you come in, just sit on the couch. All right, no problem. I sit on the couch. And then she said, you ready? Yeah, I'm ready. She hit the corner. She got a plate in her hand of steak, green beans, and a baked potato, right?
Uh-huh. And I was not a cooker then.
No, by no means. But let me tell you what she had on. She had this red lingerie on. Was it some black heels?
Uh-huh.
And some black heels. That's all she had on. Oh, man. Tell you what, I wasn't hungry. She made me eat. Oh, man.
That was a good birthday.
That was the best.
That was a good birthday.
Oh, that was the best. Because I was not expecting that at all.
Yeah.
With the cooking, the lingerie, like, what? Oh, man, yeah.
Yeah, that was a good birthday. That was a good surprise.
It went down, too.
Definitely.
So, yeah, that was mine.
So, yeah, these kids.
Well, okay. Number 4. What's my best physical feature?
Now, you know the answer to that.
What is it?
Your legs.
Oh, my God.
I'm a legs person. I am a legs person. And Philip told me the other day, he was like, you don't just be looking at my legs like, oh, them look good. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. He could be getting, I see that little muscle popping. I be like, well, come on in.
Oh my gosh.
It's definitely your legs, boo.
My leg.
Yes.
Well, you know what's mine for you.
My booty.
That wagon.
You
Yeah.
so mannish.
Dragging that wagon.
So anywho, guys, thank y'all for watching as always.
Appreciate you, cuz.
If you haven't, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. And you know what else? This is something else we're going to start asking y'all to do. Share the video with somebody if you think they can get something out of it. Go ahead and share it.
Yeah, that would be much appreciated.
Yeah. So thank y'all. Till next time. Peace out.
Peace out.